viewers, gentle viewers, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be a Bridgerton season 3 costume review. I've just finished watching the show. I have so many opinions and thoughts that I'm so excited to share with you, and I'm also looking forward to hearing your thoughts down in the comments below. For full transparency, I also just wanted an excuse to wear my Bridgerton dress. I mean, it's perfect. I'm hoping to bag Benedict and enter the Bridgerton family with this dress. And my boyfriend is here, but we're talking about my fantasy boyfriend. This is my real life boyfriend. This is actually a lingerie that I've layered on top of a tank top, and I do not wish to be cast out from society, so this is between us. I want to start by talking about each character one by one, because otherwise it's just so many costumes and it's very overwhelming. And obviously we start by Penelope. She starts off the season wearing her old colors, the citruses and the neon hues that she herself hates, and I think that in the beginning of this season her dresses are particularly bad and exaggerated simply because they probably wanted to emphasize her whole transformation. According to me, the most important changes in her style were of course the colors, but also the cuts and the hair, and we're gonna talk about all of these things one by one, starting with the colors. So originally she's a Featherington, so she was wearing all these citrusy colors and yellowy hues. She's becoming a Bridgerton. The Bridgerton color is blue. She starts her transformation by wearing bluish greens, and I think that's a really nice detail because as the season goes on, she's wearing more and more blue hues, and blue plus yellow makes green, so it makes sense that she starts in green dresses and then slowly progresses into true blues. Her transformation dress is this really dark hue that is a little bit overwhelming on her. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it. I think it wasn't the worst look at all, especially the way it flowed was really nice compared to some of her other dresses. I have some issues with the way some of these dresses were cut. I think this dress was intentionally a little bit too womanly, a little bit too heavy and mature, because she's trying to signal that she's a woman and she wants to be noticed. This kind of backfires on her with Cressida ripping off her dress, and after that she starts to dress a little more toned down. Talking about Penelope's colors, I also really loved her in these cream hues. I especially loved the corset scene where she's wearing this beautiful cream, almost blush pink corset that is just gorgeous. So another big change in her style has been of course her hair. I think that together with Cressida, she had the worst hair in the previous season. In this season she has way better hair, but it's a 1940s old Hollywood glamour kind of style, and sometimes it reminded me of Jessica Rabbit, especially the last look she had. Every time I liked her hair the most, it was when she was at home and the curls were a little more natural, a little more brushed out. The makeup, although sometimes very beautiful and natural, with the eyeliner it was really heavy and sometimes it took me out of the moment. Sometimes it made her look twice divorced. While her transformation was, I think, very well done and overall I really liked it, I have some issues with some of her dresses, particularly the way some of her dresses were cut. She has this really natural pure beauty and soft curves, and I think some of her sleeves were cut in this really sharp way that contrasted too much with her soft shapes herself and made her look really stiff, made her posture look weird. I preferred her in all those puff sleeves that were a little more natural. Her dresses sometimes had the empire waist, but then the skirt was very form-fitting. I think it gives Portia Featherington, it just is not a good look, and I think a lot of her dresses, even the ones I liked, would have looked way better with fuller skirts. The fuller skirt would have really gone well with her curls and with her soft features in general. This wedding dress had that balance. For example, if you compare it to this last look she had, which is one of my least favorite, if not my least favorite, it has the lack of balance between the shoulders and the hips, and it almost looks like they added her torso to the rest of her body later. Even though the wedding dress was a little bit too modern for my taste, it was still very beautiful and looked really beautiful on her. But one improvement in her dresses cuts was of course the fit. Her dresses were always cutting her mid-bust. I always thought they were just somehow fitting her badly, but I found out that in the books, her mother is always buying her these dresses that are too small for her in order to try and force her to lose weight. I'm not sure if this is true. If you've read the books, let me know in the comments down below, because I haven't read them, but it makes a lot of sense. I do think that not only in Penelope, but also especially Violet Bridgerton, both of them had way too much pushed up bust area, and it looks too modern, too tacky. All that being said, Penelope is one of my favorite characters, so I really enjoyed watching her transformation. Now let's talk about Kate. So Kate is the actress is stunning, and in the last seasons we saw her in these beautiful jewel tones that look so gorgeous and it makes her glow, and this season she was wearing these boring earthy tones and the dresses just gave high school prom. They were really boring, and I think that one of the reasons for that is because she isn't the main character anymore in this season, and she's not supposed to stand out more than the main characters, so they made her dress in these earthy tones for that reason. Another disappointing thing about her was her hair. I think that it was way too modern and it looked like a prom dress hairstyle. And also, ever since she joined the series, I was hoping to see her wear a beautiful sari, and it would make so much sense because she's someone who really loves her culture, who really cares about her culture. So I really don't understand why they didn't make her wear a sari. We would love to see it. We have to talk about Cressida. So due to her character, Cressida has always been a train wreck. However, this season it was out of this world. She looked like a shopping mall Christmas tree. So this season Cressida both becomes the villain and gets sort of a redemption, not really a redemption, but we get to have a look at her situation. We get to see her whole her family. I read somewhere that she's supposed to look like a caged bird. I don't really see it. She doesn't want to be married off to whomever, so she's increasingly desperate to find a husband by herself. This is the logic behind her extra crazy clothes, and I think they are very, very loosely based off of 1830s, even though I believe the show is supposed to be in the 1910s, because in the 1830s there were these huge sleeves, exaggerated, and I've even seen some crazy hairstyles in the era's fashion plates, so that's what I'm guessing. But it makes it hard to believe that a guy so sober as Lord Debling would be interested in her at all. Honestly, before Lord Debling said that, like implied that Penelope is supposed to love her, but he's gonna be away and he's never gonna love her, I actually preferred him over Colin because he's vegan and he's like more of a mature, sober type. Anyways, this dress is an atrocity. But I would love to see a Cressida redemption and glow up. That would be so interesting to watch. I actually think that at times she has been more mature than Eloise, because Eloise just really annoyed me this season, okay? I did not appreciate her comments on embroidery, and she's supposed to be a feminist, but she hates women clearly. She hates women's interests and she sees them as inferior to men, and she's acting like a pick-me. So I think Eloise should do better and start some sort of book club or something, which I hope something will change with her next season. I don't know if they're doing this so that she could change next season or not, but I'm really curious to see. Eloise. She is the impersonification of tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. I now understand why they say this, because what in the kimono is going on with this outfit? What is that? And the fluffy sleeves and that neck, what's going on there? And the colors, it just gives Sullivan from the Monsters Inc. And the bangs look like the little girl too, so it made me laugh so much. It's almost worse than Cressida. I think this represents her friendship with Cressida, how she gets affected by her and starts dressing in this crazy way a little bit. Some of her other outfits were really nice. For example, this blue dress with the embroidery, even though it kind of reminds me of my mom's curtains, it still passes. And also I really liked this outfit that was controversial. I mean, it's not perfect, okay, it's kind of heavy, but it gives 1960s with the cape, and I think it goes really well with her personality. Obviously we're not looking for historical accuracy in Bridgerton because that's out the window. I also really like this sparkly dress she was wearing. Francesca, so let me start off by saying her makeup was so pretty in my opinion. I know it was a little bit heavy for a period thing, but everything else was way heavier as well. So I honestly didn't mind her makeup. It was just so beautiful. She has these beautiful doe eyes and high cheekbones that just looked beautiful with this shiny makeup. I loved her hair in most of the styles she was wearing, especially updos that were quite simple but elegant and understated. I did not like it when they did this weird curling iron thing that looked really clumped, and like they just took out the iron and left it like that. In some of the scenes you can also see the curls loosening a little bit in the back and just hanging there. I generally liked Francesca's style. There was this look that was kind of Chanel with the 80s sleeves and the jacket. Of course I didn't love it. I especially didn't like the color. The gray didn't suit her. I loved her in these pastels and the whites. Compared to Penelope, who has these softer features, Francesca has sharper cheekbones, a jawline that is really chiseled. So I think that the 80s puff shoulders suited her. I loved her shiny crystally dress. I love that it was very simple in color but had these little details and sparkles. That was my favorite look that she wore. Her wedding dress was I'm kind of divided for it because I love the fabric, I love the pleated neckline and stuff, but it was giving either a Regency jacket look or a 70s, 90s transition look with the v-neck. I preferred her debutante look when she was presented to the queen. I loved her dress, and I think that a wedding dress of that time should have looked more like that, but I guess they're trying to emphasize her personality, which is quite subdued and quite a wallflower. Lastly, let's talk about Colin. So I think that Colin wasn't looking bad, but I think he was looking underwhelming, especially compared to Anthony. And since he started the season being all I'm a player, I'm a heartbreaker kind of guy, I would have expected him to be starting out dressing in a more over-the-top way and then slowly getting back into himself, his own personality, which is slightly more introverted compared to the other Bridgertons. But he's a guy and nobody cares because we watch Bridgerton for the women's outfits and Anthony's. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was so fun to make. It's the first of a kind. I've never made a video like this before, but I had lots of fun. So if you want a part 2 with other characters, or if you want me to review another series, costumes, or any other thing like that, let me know in the comments down below and I'll do my best. I hope you have a great day and see you in the next video. Bye! Oh, and remember to like, subscribe, and comment.